Release all the sounds that are trapped in your mind.
Oh God. Okay. Hello, everyone. Yeah, that's very awkward.
Sorry.
All right. Anyways,
Hi.
if you don't know who we are, watch our last 2 videos. I'm playing. I'm William. This is.
I'm Micah.
I am Joseph. Hi, and welcome to today's podcast, our latest and potentially greatest installment.
Potentially greatest installment.
Potentially, maybe we'll find out. You guys can leave us a comment and tell us today what we're going to be discussing. If you haven't already guessed, it's going to be Kung Fu Panda number 3. And this one's gonna be pretty good. I like this one. I'm not gonna say which one's my favorite. We can talk about that later. But because today we're talking about the third one with Kai. And I'm not gonna lie, I like this one. I'm gonna leave it at that.
No, you should tell us why.
Okay, all right.
Don't leave me in suspense.
All right. So I'm not gonna lie. With the character's main trait, I feel like with kind of what's kind of causing all this was a very good, like, they had a good thing going and a good idea when it came to him being just greedy, really, and power hungry. And I like how they actually even made the little tokens of the people's chi that he has absorbed and like ripped from them, and is green, like kind of like money. Even his eyes kind of glow green, like he like craves more, and it's like radiating out of him. I know he's like not mortal, but I like everything that they designed in with him from the colors. I thought it was really good character design. So props to DreamWorks. They're good. Very good. Yes. Oh, Micah.
Yes.
So we actually watched it together.
They didn't invite me.
No, we
Nope.
did not.
They invited me. I had to watch a recap on YouTube because I forgot to watch it. My bad. So I'm gonna be pretty quiet this video.
Well, yeah, it was fun, but yeah, over at what did you think?
I think
First initial impression.
Pretty much. I think it was a good movie also. As a kid, when I was watching watching basically him summoning warriors is just an amazing thing. Just imagine you're in a fight and you're just like, go. You can't beat that, really. With General Kai, though, it's also an interesting kind of villain because with before we had Tai Lung, we had Lord Shen, the Peacock and Leopard, pretty much equal ground as Poe. All mortals, skilled with kung fu or weapons. With General Kai, though, he towers twice as high as Poe. He's a warlord. He just knows how to fight, basically. And on top of that, he's not mortal. Kind of a big step up for Poe now.
Yes. The skadoosh did not work.
Nope.
So like we get to this point, man. We're really jumping way
well,
ahead
hold
into
up,
this.
hold
We're really
up.
jumping.
Bring it back.
Yeah,
it back.
we might need to bring it back a little bit. How does it start?
Kung
It
Fu
starts in
Panda
the
3.
beginning. Oh, the beginning is good. I like
It starts
the
an intro, kind of
Right.
like a training montage. You
Get-
see Poe and the Furious Five in the temple, the Jade Palace, training, getting ready, jumping out of the palace into town. You think they're going to fight. They do all these cool flips, jump through trees, jump through a cloud, drop from the atmosphere, superhero landing, just to take out. Just to order takeout.
Yeah, it was just to get food.
That's a mood though.
100%. It's like, Taco Bell, go!
Taco Bell, really? That's your first choice?
At midnight, you can't go wrong.
4 hours later, you will. Anyways, moving on. Sorry, going down that rabbit hole. Yeah, no. Well, I'm gonna skip a little bit past that part. Just going back, kind of with Kai, going into like the spirit realm when we first see him. He has like the coolest intro ever.
Yes.
Like the music and the beat of like when he's walking through with it. Like, loved it.
That was good. Yeah. So like, he starts. The movie starts with Kai in like, essentially they call it the spirit realm. I think the way that we kind of would look at it would be like, kind of like the afterlife to a certain degree. So like that's where we find Kai and Master Shifu.
It would be more like a purgatory, wouldn't it be? Because like, if we're going based off like kind of like a Western kind of like religion like Christianity, heaven and hell are two very separate things with two very different sets of people.
Right.
So like if Kai's in one realm with Uguay in the same one, they're in like that middle.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right. So they're almost in like a waiting. To a
They're in
certain degree.
queue.
Yeah. Next. But they've been there for like a really long time though, because Kai was there for 500 years. Yeah. Just to like get enough chi and absorb enough chi by stealing from other masters to defeat.
Actually, no. Sorry to interrupt, but if you really think about it, so like think about like all the other masters who have like passed on, right? So like Master Uguay, all the ones from Kung Fu Panda 2 who got yeeted, and then I don't say yeeted forever. I don't know why I said that one. But all these masters who potentially basically died, he had to basically wait until they died for him to get them. Imagine like, how do you think that worked out? Do you think like they showed up in like the after, what's it called? The spirit realm?
Yeah.
The spirit realm, and be like, oh cool, I'm finally at peace. And then all of a sudden Kai shows up. Like, how do you think that worked? Or did you think it was like they're like in different, like they end up in different spots in the spirit realm, and Kai has to like hunt for them?
I feel like it has to be different spots, because fast forwarding forwards, when Poe's in the spirit realm, his surrounding turns into like a jade palace kind of area, whereas Uguay, it's just the peach tree area. So I feel whenever you monkey, crane, viper.
Sorry, we're going down rabbit holes in this video.
I feel like this is Mantis.
Oh yeah, it is Mantis. But when each of them spawn in, they essentially have their own little area.
You're right. Sorry, I'm still thinking about.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, yeah, no, okay, I'd say that's so. That means Kai would have to like go around to each of these different spots. But here's the thing, like when Poe and Kai both got transported, skipping ahead again. If you actually, we should probably level this. If you haven't seen Kung Fu Panda 3, it would benefit you to watch it before really listening to us talk about, because we're not really recapping it like the way other YouTubers would do when it comes to recapping movies. We're really just discussing it. If you haven't been able to allow our past two videos, which reminder you should check out because we need views and comment. Don't read any of the other
Don't
comments.
do it.
Though.
I know what you're thinking about this video. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
Wow.
But yeah. So
He invades their peace. Essentially.
yeah. But then where is everybody else though?
On his belt.
No, I get that, but did he take both just good masters, or did he take bad masters
Well,
too?
actually, if you slow down the movie enough, you see all the masters, but you also see Tai Lung's chi on him.
Okay.
There's a snow leopard pendant on his belt.
Okay.
He doesn't use it in battle, but he doesn't use Uguay's either. There are conspiracy theories about Kung Fu Panda. That's a little weird, but hey, to each their own. Theories that he needs a certain amount of chi to be in the spirit realm. Not spirit realm, to be in the mortal realm. So he needs to hold some chi to stay, so he has the strongest on him no matter what. You don't see him saying Uguay out to fight.
Fair enough.
So people think he needs chi to stay there, and enough chi to send warriors out. That's what people think.
Okay. Interesting. Didn't think of that. So. And then with the ones he brought back, right? Back to like the real world from the ones he took.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. But so let's go back to like that first thing I brought up. So like, how do you think that reaction was to like them fighting Kai? Do you think it was like a really long, prolonged battle like they did with like Uguay, or was it like really short?
Wait, that's the thing with Uruguay. It was over 1 minute, 2 minutes.
Do you think it was longer or short, even shorter?
It's a good question. I mean, with each of the masters, you know, they would each have their own techniques and
Yeah, because Master Uguay was a good master, but he wasn't like the ultimate master.
master of knowledge.
Kai took him out pretty quick.
Yeah, but Master Uguay wasn't known for his fighting prowess. He was known for his wisdom.
Right.
Also, he's a turtle. I don't think many turtles are that quick, which is why in the first movie, you remember, he uses a cane and wobbles around. Versus like someone like Master Shifu who can
Yoda.
zip and zap. That was just something to think about. I was just wondering. It's like, okay, how long do you think like all the other masters who like actually like fight? Dude, actually no, Master Uguay does fight.
He does fight.
Because like he went to war. Actually, then going to that, think about like what war and who did they fight? Like were they like people who like went out and like other animals? And another thing, sorry, I keep bringing up things, but also, have you noticed that there's an inconsistent amount of like animals to like characters? So like for instance in Kung Fu Panda 2, there's like a whole bunch of hyenas or dogs.
Wolves.
Well, wolves. There's a whole bunch of wolves, but then there's like only one of each other animal.
Numbers. It shows the numbers of the force.
Well, yeah, I get that, but like for instance, there's a whole bunch of pandas, a whole bunch of wolves, a whole bunch of ducks. I think there are a whole bunch of geese.
Yeah, I mean the thing is though in the movies like they condense all the animals together, whereas if they're not the main characters, they're spread out. So there's probably equal amount.
Well, there are a lot of
They're spread
bunnies.
I feel like they do a pretty good job of like actually hitting the amount and numbers of how many animals there actually are in comparison to each other. So for instance, like when you watch the movie, however many pigs you see, that's kind of like a normal amount, probably compared to
normal
the
amount of
pandas.
pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to like the pandas, where the pandas are literally still endangered species. So right, they are still an endangered
pretty sure they
species.
They're endangered because they basically off themselves.
Yeah, they're not the
Because
smartest.
they're not the smartest. Have you seen the videos of them like falling from trees? And it's been like,
So fun fact.
oh, there's a video. Sorry, I can't even try
I
to
want
finish.
I want a panda.
No, you don't.
But I do.
Get us to 1,000 likes and we'll get a panda.
1,000? No. Whoa.
I want
Are we
a
that
panda.
desperate?
We
are.
would roll together. I would feed it bamboo. It would be my emotional support panda.
I think you would be the panda's emotional support human. If we're really honest. Did you know there's a video online of a panda mom trading her like cub for like an apple? Then you go like, oh, fruit. Here you go.
I like pandas. I want one.
I mean, among all the bear type animals to choose from, I guess a panda is the correct one to choose from. I personally would not go with any type of bear, but that's just me. But anyways, going back to that. Okay, that's a lot about the beginning part. Let's get into Poe meeting his dad.
Yes.
How do
Talking
we-
about pandas.
How do we feel about that?
It was quite an interesting interaction, to say the least.
It was awkward, but like you see that in the movie. Yeah. Sorry. No. You go ahead. I'll talk after.
Right, so at I almost said Lord Chen. At Mr. Ping's noodle shop, they have this yearly competition. Whoever can eat the most dumplings wins. It has to be Poe.
Poe probably wins every
Poe would
time.
win every time. Except when he's about to leave, someone rushes in saying, "Someone's about to beat your dumpling eating record." So
Lo
Poe,
and behold.
lo and behold, he sees a man with a vest, a straw hat, a little bit round, black arms, hands up, turns around, it's a panda.
You kind of
They talk to
said
me.
man.
And this panda has dumplings stuck to the brim in his mouth. They're like playing Chubby Bunny.
Was it
but with
100 and
dumplings?
103?
Is that how many it was?
I believe it was 103. Mind you, these are like dumplings, probably like yay big.
It's like bow dumplings.
They're like about, yeah, they're like
They're huge.
Could maybe fit 2.
Our next video is going to be watching Micah stick 2 bow dumplings in his mouth and seeing how that goes.
We should make dumplings for our next video.
We need to like ask. Comment on what we should put on this table.
Yes.
We got nothing.
I feel like I know what a certain few people are going to say.
You just gave a lot of. There's so much power. I feel like in the
Yeah.
hands of the people who leave comments on our
Yeah,
videos.
and
There yet. There yet. Send us money so we can afford whatever it is you say.
Please.
We don't have any sponsors yet, so please help us. Anyways, okay, let's go into kind of more the emotional depth of that. How do you think, like, you said it was awkward. How do you think, like, in like a real life scenario where it's like, oh, I didn't know you were alive. Who are you? And how does that work?
Right. So imagine, if you will, the people who you've grown up with essentially your entire life, i.e., your mom and dad. If you know, most people grow up with a mom and dad. So if that's the norm for you, just so you know, that's not the norm for some other people. Some people are adopted. Some people were fostered. And so in this case, Poe is adopted, if you haven't watched the movie, by Mr. Ping,
The duck.
who's duck. And so it's like it's not there. The connection is not there. So Poe sees his dad for the first time, not realizing it right away. This is where the awkwardness happens right away, because this dude is looking for his son. This boy is looking for his parents, essentially. Without even really realizing he's looking for his parents. He doesn't know where they are. So the fact that he sees another panda for the first time in his life ever, he's shocked. And they're like, look eyes with each other, and you see this moment, and everyone else sees it but them, right? All the pigs, all the sheep, even Mr. Ping, like Poe's adopted father, sees it. You see it in their eyes. Poe sees his dad. Dad sees Poe. Poe sees his dad. Dad sees Poe. And they're kind of dumb.
The pandas.
They're pandas. You've got to cut them some slack. And they don't make the connection right away. So, and it's super awkward because Mr. Ping is not happy.
Okay, yeah, now bringing to Mr. Ping into the equation. How do you think, like, he, like, would take, like, he, like, what he was feeling inside of, like, oh, I just took care of this, like, his son for the past, basically, you know, X amount of years. Because Poe's, like, what, in his 20s?
Yeah.
I think in his 20s, so the past, basically, 20-ish years of feeding him, making sure he's fed, supporting him through the Dragon Warrior, helping defeat Tai Lung, essentially, and, you know, give him all the support and food he can give. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, cool, I just gave your dad a free meal. A lot of free meals, essentially.
Yes. Yep.
Like, how do you think Mr. Ping would feel?
Bankrupt.
Robbed.
So, yeah, bankrupt. Yeah, robbed. So, I think it's really interesting that, like, in that being put up, it's like, okay, like, there's so many different emotions being at play here. Like, let's go with, like, the least kind of, like, one that means anything. The audience of, like, the people, not, like, the viewers watching the movie, but, like, the people who are seeing this happen outside Mr. Ping. Where it's like, oh, just shock and, like, oh, cool, it's your dad. Right? And then Poe being, like, excitement and probably a little bit of awkwardness / nervousness. And then his dad, who's just feeling joy and, like, a sense of satisfaction that he found his son. And then there's Mr. Ping, who's just, like, probably feeling, what, anger, resentment, fear, so maybe a little bit of sadness.
Yeah. A little bit of heartbreak.
And no one really addresses that with Mr. Ping. They're just kind of like, oh, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you put in X amount of years, like at least, we're going to say 20 years at minimum. You know, so you put 20 years of work into something, and then it's like, suddenly you don't get the credit for that. Almost like, and someone else gets the credit. It's like, oh, good job. We're going to, like, you worked for 20 years, and then the person who you worked for pays someone else. I feel like to a certain degree you can feel like that because Mr. Ping literally raised him, not for money, because he loved him. And then to have his other dad come in, and then to have Poe just be like, oh, my dad is over here now. Like, forget my other dad to a certain degree. I feel like Mr. Ping might feel a little like, oh, really? Like, bro, I love you. Like, you're my son. I raised you. That would not feel very good.
No, I agree, and it's really weird, especially like for those who don't know. Surprise, surprise! Myself and Micah are adopted, so and knowing Micah, he might have a surprise for me. But we've, as far as I know, have never met our birth parents. We've only known our adopted parents. Also, if you didn't know, we're brothers. Just in case you were wondering.
We're not brothers.
No.
We could be though.
We could be.
I mean, we're adopted, so who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows? Actually, we're not even blood related. Fun fact for us.
No.
So hopefully, with you know how our viewership is right now, only like maybe 40 people will know that, or maybe our videos pick up. So this will be a great video where we're gonna be like, hey, go check out some of our early videos to find out a little bit more about Will, Micah, and Joseph. But anyways, just coming from that perspective, it's like okay, like I don't know how I would react if I saw my birth parents. I have no idea how my adopted parents would react, right? But it's crazy because like just with the way, at least in America, just with like the foster care and adopted system work, it's just so like messed up, right? Especially when it comes to like foster care. Just seeing how like, cause like we also have more stuff to know about us. We had 4 younger siblings after us who were all brought up through the system and slowly adopted into our family. And just that process is just seeing like the toll it took on our parents of just like okay, doing visitations, seeing parents doing X, Y, or Z, and then finally trying to get them into our family, and then just moving on from there. And it's just like people put in a lot of hard work for like all that, and then it's like struggling like as the kid on like the other side where it's like okay, like I get it that like I'm loved and like I have gotten care for me, support, but like just that biological feeling like oh, like I have someone who literally birthed me or made me, so like just getting that like emotional connection to that. But it's really weird. I don't know, I'm not studied up on how the brain works for that. We should actually one of these days we'll bring in like a guest once we pick up viewers, and hopefully can like say, hey look, we gotta get a YouTube channel. Bring in someone who actually knows a lot about that and just learn about that and be like, hey, we talked about Kung Fu Panda 3. You should watch it so we can talk about it and then understand the psychological natures of it.
So, well, either way though, it posed in a completely new situation.
Right.
Yeah, it's awkward. He's happy though. I mean, Poe is very happy. But and they make a mess. You talk about that. I'm going to talk about when they make a mess.
In the palace.
Yeah, when they just start monkeying around in the Jade Palace.
Actually, no, that's a good thing to bring up. Do you think that maybe like Poe's dad is like a bad influence on him?
Yeah, I was holding off on that. That was one of the first things that I noticed actually after the movie. I was like, man, Poe's dad kind of is definitely not a very good influence. From messing around the palace, destroying things, to essentially just trying to get Poe to really just quit being the Dragon Warrior, I feel like.
Right.
And just kind of take a vacation and lay around and roll around and eat and sleep and and take naps and
So basically, be a panda.
eat and sleep some more. Yeah.
Yes.
And to a certain degree, when the Poe is essentially on vacation, I'm like, I want that.
Oh no, and I get, and that's good, but like I feel like in the entirety of the movie, right, Poe's dad, up to like towards kind of like the middle end, he's really no help to Poe at all. And like into like the character development. If anything, he's like doing the complete opposite of what everyone else kind of helps Poe get up. Even in the first movie when we talked about it, I was like, okay, everyone's kind of pushing Poe down, but in a way that's like helping him get better because like Poe's like downtrodden and depressed, I guess would be a better word for it, of like just like how everything's going and the fact that he doesn't want to be Dragon Warrior, but in turn that makes him better by giving him that obstacle to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
Poe's dad is causing an obstacle, but paralleling it with like Poe's ultimate dream of just kind of being at one with the people. But kind of diverging him off the path of what he was intended to be.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like, okay, now you just cause a whole new set of problems by leaving the valley unprotected.
Right. Yeah, Poe's destiny is to be the Dragon Warrior. And his dad is like, dude, chill out. Take a break. Take it easy. Why are you trying so hard? Like, you don't have to do this. He's also, there is a certain element where his dad is actually afraid for his son's life. And I'm not going to say that your intentions justify your actions. Just because you have good intentions sometimes doesn't always mean that the actions that you took because of your good intentions doesn't always mean that your actions are good. And you kind of see that play out in Poe's father, where you see the concern where he's like, oh my gosh, my son is like, this guy's trying to kill him. This guy from another realm essentially came back to this realm and is trying to kill my son. Like, I should just hide him.
Like, I think that, I mean, I feel, I keep saying it makes sense. It makes sense in the fact that him as a parent, their initial reaction is just shield. I wouldn't say hide, shield. Especially him not knowing that Poe is like an actual trained warrior who's literally throwing cannonballs back at people, right? And yeah, so I would say that's a pretty good reaction for anybody, especially when it comes to their kid. Like you having a son, if like anything coming to harm, what's your first reaction? Be like, get down.
Right.
Probably not that was word specifically, but
fun fact: I have a 5-year-old.
Yeah, you guys get to learn a lot about us. So hopefully we get a lot of views so that a lot of people know who we are. But just like seeing how our parents did, other parents, just like the idea of like shielding them away from social media, like just bad things in the world. Like that's just the natural reaction of a parent. The problem is, Poe's not a kid anymore. And I feel like his dad is trying to treat him as if he were still like in that infant stage.
He never got that experience with him.
Mm-hmm.
He wants it, but it's not there.
Does Poe have brothers and sisters through the panda family?
Just cousins.
No other siblings?
No, they're no blood siblings, just cousins and pandas.
Yeah.
Okay.
No siblings were mentioned.
I believe Poe.
Kung Fu Panda 5.
There would have been siblings, but mother was sacrificed.
Oof.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
No,
If they're watching this, they would already know.
Mom gives her life to save Poe because she puts him in the radish basket.
Yes.
And then as she puts her little baby in the basket, she runs away and like gets the wolves and not Kai. I was about to say Kai. No, not Kai, not Tai Lung.
Lord Chen?
Lord Shen. Thank you. Lord Shen, you see him also there. You see his feathers fly past the screen, so you know he was there, and you know that she didn't survive. So essentially, his mom hides him. She dies in the process, but he does live. His dad tries to hide him, but that is not what Poe needs in that moment, because he's not a baby anymore. He's literally the dragon warrior, but his dad doesn't see that. Wants to have that infant connection. Can't have that. And as a result, what happens next? The 5 come in, right? It's who was the
Okay, what
Mr.
part of
King is
the movie
there.
are we technically in? Because we're jumping over. Where are we?
We're
where
kind of
are
in
we
the
from?
middle. We're after the attack on the Jade Palace.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in the Panda Village, really.
All right. Well, with the attack of the Jade Palace, Kai captures everyone but Tigress.
Right.
Right.
He, and by now also, he doesn't just have the master. Oh my voice.
Oh Lord.
All good. Anyways, he doesn't just have the masters from the spirit realm. He actually went back to the mortal realm. He captured all the current masters, Kung Fu. Every single one. The only ones left are Po, and the Furious 5, and Shifu. 4 of the 5 are gone. Shifu is gone. It's just Tigress and Po left.
Ooh, okay. So, at that point, see, if you don't know, Poe kind of actually becomes a teacher.
Oh.
Very awkwardly and haphazardly becomes a teacher. Okay, he doesn't do a very good job, and he makes a lot of mistakes along the way. A lot. It's brutal, actually, when he starts. It's awful. But as he, through his guidance of like teaching the pandas to essentially just take what they're already good at and try and turn it into something that they kind of help defend the village against Tai Lung's minioned versions of all these masters. These masters are not, I feel like, fighting at their true capacity. I feel like, I don't know, they're almost like zombified versions of them, because there's this part where all these masters are coming at Poe and the Panda Village, and the pandas are actually making some pretty decent progress into fending off the not zombified, the jade
green,
versions of these masters. So they're fighting. Poe's fighting him off, defending him and with the rest of the pandas, but Tigress is also there.
Tigress is there, yes.
Tigress is there, and she's also able to kick some butt pretty good
With one hand.
with one hand. Cause I'm pretty sure she's like holding a baby the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. She's holding a baby the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, with the zombies, though, like, they're not mindless, though.
Right.
Like, they actually have the skills and memories of the master they are. Because you see them in the beginning when the Jade Zombies attack the Valley of Peace. Master Porcupine's using his signature move.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Badger Twins are using their signature move. They're not just mindless. They're actually, they know what they're doing.
Right. Okay. I don't know.
Was
okay.
the Rhino from the second movie who got
The Rhino was obliterated by the cannon.
So how do they get into the spirit realm? Did
I
they
don't
die
think-
naturally then?
I believe so. Because if you see how everyone gets to Spirit Realm, they either pass naturally like Oogway, or they were skadooshed.
Okay, so what about all the warriors who just died from like?
We don't know about those warriors. They could have just lived a happy life. We have no idea.
That's interesting. We should talk about that in our part of the video, but if we ever do Kung Fu Panda 4, we'll talk about it. Okay, let's talk about Poe learning how to teach. How do we feel about that?
I wouldn't want to be in his class.
Yeah. It's funny because there's this part in the movie where Poe was like, I cannot teach. I can't even teach Tigress. And she already knows Kung Fu. It's so bad. They're falling around all over the place. They're getting hurt, essentially, trying to follow Poe's teaching. Poe is like plummeting them into the ground. So it doesn't start off very well. Pershing wants to quit after his first day like in the beginning.
I think anyone who's ever tried to teach without any knowledge of trying to teach someone has felt the same way. Teaching is like a skill that is not something taught, like specifically taught very well. Most times you have to learn instructing or teaching based off of like watching other people and then trying to like be completely different about who you are. For instance, like we've all teach our own different classes here at Co-Brothers Taekwondo. Like Master Micah here teaches our main Taekwondo classes. I teach adult self-defense and just general, just self-defense. And then Instructor Joseph here teaches our parkour and acrobatics. We all have very different ways of teaching and different ways of what we want to present. But if I was like, oh, I want to teach Taekwondo classes, I could, because I have a baseline in Taekwondo, but I said, oh, Master Micah, I need to teach the adult self-defense without knowing anything that I know. Or saying, hey, Instructor Joseph, teach my class too. Or teach Master Micah's class without having any basis in what he does. It's going to be like, okay, what do I do?
Right. Yeah, no,
And also, Poe was given a very hard task. It's very difficult to teach someone who already knows everything.
That's true. That's true. It'd be like going to college, and it'd be like, you're the professor, teach the class.
No, it'd be more
I'm
like
the
no.
student.
It'd be more like the student teaches all the professors.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It's like, oh, you need to teach all these professors who are already really who are masters in their craft, how to teach what they've already been teaching or doing. And you're like, oh, cool. And then all the professors being like, no, I've already done this. Don't even listen to you. But here's the thing, also, like, the Furious 5 were really good at, like, really good about it. Like, they didn't really argue with the fact that he was going to just take on teaching. They had their worries, but they still went and did it. They weren't like, no.
Yeah.
They respected the fact that he was put in that place. Unlike the first movie where they're like, ugh. So, character progression. Love to see it.
Right, and then with what you said, the way you teach is different how other people teach, ties with Poe. Because when he was teaching the Furious 5, he was teaching as Shifu taught. We all know how that went.
Right.
Later in the movie, he's teaching the pandas Kung Fu. Big flappy pandas Kung Fu. He teaches them completely different. There's a panda who loves to hug people. He just tells them to hug, cracks a tree. He takes what the pandas are good at and molds them instead of just saying, hey, I'm turning you into this. He just molds them into Kung Fu.
Right. No, and I think just the progression of Poe learning how to teach is great, especially with like the idea like we were talking about how pandas are being essentially very lazy and just not wanting to do anything and just rolling around. The fact like he was teaching people who were at his own pace, and then he was able to bring it up to speed. All right, that's like how it should have been, right? Like we're never going to say to an instructor, a brand new instructor, hey, you're going to teach all the black belts. We're going to say, hey, teach the white belt, because the white belt who doesn't really know anything, the black belt who knows everything but doesn't know how to teach, can progress together. Versus saying to a black belt, be like, hey, if I had like a brand new instructor who's never taught before, I'd say, hey, go teach Master Micah how to do Taekwondo. Master Micah has already been doing this for X amount of years and already knows everything. So at that point, it's not him teaching, it's him being mentored. But with a white belt who has no idea how to do it, with the instructor who knows how everything do it, but has no idea how to teach, can now progress. And it's a journey for both of them.
Yeah.
Because I told like another instructor to go to Master Micah is basically gonna be like, yeah, that's not right. Oh, you might not do that, but it'd be like, oh, okay, you should be doing it a little bit more like this, trying to do it like this, and then it turns into more that Master Micah is starting to teach the instructor. In that case scenario, with like Poe trying to work with tigers, crane, monkey, viper, and mantis. But anyways, before we continue on, I'm thinking we're going to do a part 2 to this video. That way, because we can dive deeper into like the other ending part of the movie, just because of how much time we have left, and we're trying to keep our videos down to like 30 to 45 minutes.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
see you guys with part 2.
Take care. See ya.
Bye.